Video 2 of the day. Couldn't live stream, so we're diving into this. I thought about this. You ever watch a YouTube channel that's really well put together, scripted, titled, SEO, thumbnail, proper lighting, exposure, everything's perfect, flawless. Person can walk around, that somebody else is like holding the camera, and then they mention something about their team. Their team this, their team this, their team that, whatever. And I got to thinking, I've been thinking about this for a while, and I really, really, really enjoy YouTube. I love the process of being able to film, articulate what you want to say, hopefully, not my way. Mine's all jumbled, but tangent, open book, come back to that story later on or something. But they talk about the team. And what is a team? What is a team? The team synergy, right? So working together, compartmentalizing, individual tasks, bringing it together, synergy, working well with the team, and all that. Very efficient, proficient, right? So imagine this. Imagine you enjoy the process too. There's a lot of people, different channel I have, where they hate, despise editing. I love editing. I love filming. I'm getting more comfortable in front of the lens. It's easy because I'm looking there and I don't see myself. I'm over here, but I'm not looking over here. So filming yourself, filming what you have to say. Those of you know, I have a motorcycle channel, so a lot of times I'm filming in front of me and I'm talking in my helmet, so it's easy. I'm not on camera. But editing process. Think about this. You got to add music, the score, right? So music, the sound design, effects, transitions, title screens. I've done that a few times. Work on the color if you're shooting in D-Log, for example. Photography, shooting in RAW, and color correcting or color grading, depending on what you do, or both, or whatever. There's someone coming up with a script. There's somebody filming you in the process. There's someone coming up with thumbnail ideas. What about title ideas, descriptions, SEO I mentioned, and then on top of that, coming up with ideas. A team coming up with ideas and concepts for you to discuss, and you vote on it. And at some point, there's a disconnect, okay? At some point, everybody starts off, I would imagine, you start off YouTube, and you have this huge inspiration, whether it's let's just take the photography channel, okay? You are inspired to pick up the camera, and you're inspired to film this journey. You're documenting your life, your own autobiography. But then it turns into a biography, right? So they develop this team, and piece by piece, maybe they hate editing, so they outsource the editing. Maybe they hate the fact that they always have to keep moving the camera, so they hire somebody to to film them in public, right? Music, sound design, SEO, thumbnails. They outsource the thumbnail process. And at one point, like I said, it goes from an autobiography to a biography, and you're there, but you start to lose some of what made you, or what made your channel your channel. And there's more to YouTube there's more to filming and documenting this journey than just YouTube. YouTube is a fantastic, I say it many, many times, a fantastic platform. But people find it as a game. They try the gamesmanship, where they try to game the system. They try to find the proper this, and you have experts in this field, right? YouTube gurus and coaches and all that other stuff. And at some point, you have two paths. You start here. Everybody starts at day one, unless they have had a different channel or whatever, and they have that knowledge ahead of time. They start day one, and eventually there's going to come a time where they split. They come into that Y, that Y intersection, or that T intersection. They either go left or they go right. And right might be maintaining course or something, and then or left they deviate, and they start to splinter off, and they start to lose that voice, right? They lose their script. They start to lose that camera presence, where they want to frame it a certain way because somebody else has a different way to do that. Somebody else has different words that they want to put in your mouth. Products. Somebody else is sending you products. You start to gain traction on this world of YouTube. And then you start to sacrifice your own thoughts and opinions for what somebody's spoon feeding you, whether it's a product or or this other concept, because it's this particular niche. This is working well in the niche, so we strike where the iron's hot. Growth. This, look for SEO and likes and comments and subscriptions, and you start to lose, like Thanos, the Thanos snap, right? And you start to lose this little. You start to fade away, and you become pieces of what you used to become or used to be. And it's interesting. And I think, you look at an analogy like the world of business, and YouTube is a business. It's Google or Alphabet's business, and it's Fire Studio's business, right? But at one point, it comes to the person that was 3D printing in their garage, right? And just the solopreneurship, right? Entrepreneurship, solo. You're a solo creator. You're a solo entrepreneur. And then you start selling out, and eventually you can't sustain the inventory, supply and demand, right? The demand is far exceeds the supply. So you branch out, and you got your buddies coming over and helping you out. Or you buy a second 3D printer to build this product that you have. And then years later, you end up realizing, you look up and you're in a factory, and you have all these other workers, and you're providing business, and that's all well and good. Numerous, you've 10x your supply, you've 100x, your 1000x your supply, and you're doing well. But you no longer have your hands on those products, and then the product deteriorates because now you're looking at, I need to pump out as many of these, so I need to do it for less cost. Whether it's where the location of the warehouse is throughout the world, whether it's the product, the material used for that product. And it's not quite the same as when you put your hands on that from start to finish. And there's a wave of people that get into said niche, doesn't matter. And they always go back to like the roots, or they think, I need to go back. At some point, when did that person lose himself, in the process? And it's a shame that a lot of it's based on money, fame, fortune, a drive. I remember, growing up, everybody wanted to be, an athlete, football, basketball, baseball, and then it was, a fighter pilot, in the military, the fire department, police department, like I said, military, teachers. And essentially over time, with social media and everything, and everybody's famous because they're online, I'm on the camera, I'm broadcasting this, right? But now people want to be YouTubers, right? Yeah, I hate that word. YouTubers and content creators, hate that too. But the disconnect, everybody, playing video games online and getting paid for it. But it always gets outsourced, and they always want to come back to their roots. And I can imagine, so let me throw this out there. Imagine if you're somebody that wants to grow into XYZ, and then you get to a point where you watch your own video and it's edited differently, but then you're told this is what works. Imagine that. Imagine that the words you speak today are not the words you spoke last week, last year, yesteryear. How you talk is no longer how you talk. How I talk on camera is the exact same way. It's on this channel, and it's on the other channel as well. I'm the same person. If you ever meet me, I'm the same person in front of this lens or behind the lens on the other channel while riding down the road. I'm the same exact person. And I hope to be the same person, because what happens, let's fast forward. Let's stop acting like I'm picking on other people. What happens if I get to that point and I'm on that seesaw, right? So I've come from here where I'm weighted down, I'm grounded, right? I'm grounded down on that seesaw, and stuff happens, traction, growth, products, blah, 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 whatever, companies want to work with me and stuff or whatever. Let's say that happens, okay? And then you start to change, you start to teeter a little bit from who you were, who I am right here. You start to teeter a little bit, and you start to dip over the edge. and whether it's money or it's fame or fame, fortune, traveling across the world or the country and going into here, testing products. And I mean, I can imagine Nikon USA and they want me to put my hands on a camera, for example, or testing for Canon. I'm not like a snob where it's just Nikon or nothing, but Sony and Canon and Nikon, DJI, GoPro, I guess that's probably it. All the brands I have, quantity quite a bit, but brands about the same. Insta360. And then I look back and I realize, like, man, I'm on the edge. Or hold on, let's pump the brakes a little bit here. One of those deals. So hopefully I stay grounded. I would imagine I'm the same guy that watches the Washington Redskins, or Commanders they call them now. I'm the same guy that has been in the same department, even though this department took a chance on me. Okay, applying everywhere in my area, Hampton Roads, and in two cities twice. I'm talking everywhere in my neck of the woods, and two cities twice, and one took a chance. Loyalty. Could have got paid more, somewhat better benefits. Working for a different department, same retirement, same time frame, all that other stuff. Still retiring at 50 years old. Project 2034, right? But I stayed because the loyalty of it. Same shoes, same Under Armour all black tennis shoes. Yeah, I want to stay grounded. So just one of those things that, imagine there's people, whether they get in the comment section. Peter McKinnon is one that comes to my mind that, I miss the old Pete. And man, that's got to be tough. He mentioned it was tough. And at some point, I don't know how much he does. I don't know if he does it all. I know somebody follows him around with a camera, from scene to scene sometimes, but I don't know if he edits. I don't know if he's the one that puts LUTs or color corrects, and it's his lighting. He does quite a bit of videos on stuff like that. But at one point, do you look back at your old videos, video number 1, video number 10, video number 50, and wonder, like, where did the disconnect happen? It's interesting. So next time you watch a YouTube video, one of your favorite artists, creators, whatever you want to say, YouTuber, blah, one of those, and they mention team, are those his or her words? Is that his or her concept, idea, thumbnail, description, title, SEO, passion? Is that theirs, or is it their expertise compartmentalized to make that channel? My goal, stay grounded. And another goal I have is to stay grounded. I'm at 6 subscribers now. I'm pretty grounded. Y'all take care.